Hi, everyone. This is Kerem Baran with Solar Academy. I have with me again Joan Bonanno, a senior advisor to industry startups in the solar and renewables field. And with us, we have this week one of our favorite companies, Stable Solar, and its founder, Greg Sellers. So, Greg, tell us a little bit about your background, what you do day to day in the industry, what you've done in the past, and what are you dealing with most these days?
Yeah, I started, thanks first of all, Karen, I'm glad to be here. I started in the industry looking at quality issues, kind of backed into the industry, starting to do inspections for early systems way back in the late 07, 08, and have kind of stayed on the residential quality service side ever since in different capacities. I managed a couple of large portfolios, got involved on the servicing on a broader space, with portfolios where you're managing tens of thousands of residential systems. But realize more and more that the individual homeowners, and especially now with the abundance of loans and direct cash purchases of solar, now you've got all these hundreds of thousands of folks who own their system and don't always realize what their responsibility is. You know, usually they're told during the sales process that their systems don't really need service. The reality is, of course they do. You can't put power electronics on a space like a roof and not expect that there'll be some issues. Solar overall is very, if I dare say it, stable, but it's not without its risk. And so we know what those risks are. And one of the biggest actually, Karam, is that people tell us almost on a daily basis, hey, my installer went out of business. I don't know what to do. It's a very common process that we see all the time. A problem that we see all the time, because what happens is through evolution, the types of folks that get into installations, maybe they're an electric installation company or they're a roofing company and they do solar for a while. But whatever the reason, the need for servicing is very, very long term. So our focus is talking to those homeowners on a daily basis and giving them what they need so that the next time they call, they know they have a person on the other end who's going to solve their problem.
Got it. So when an installer is out of business, let's say, and a homeowner calls you and says, "Hey, my installer is no longer in business," or "I bought this home, I don't even know who installed." What is your common response? What's the one thing?
We offer free diagnosis, so we do what we can over the phone to try to figure out what's wrong with it, and we can usually kind of narrow it down a little bit. But frankly, given the average knowledge of the average home solar owner, we're almost always going to roll a truck, head out to the site. We try to add value to that as much as possible. We offer we have a membership that allows us to monitor their system long term and try to give them that support. Our goal is not to just maybe flip the switch or do the equipment replacement required to fix that system on any particular day, but rather to give them all the resources so they have peace of mind long term, so that 5 years from now they know that if they have another issue, they know exactly who to call and how it's going to get solved.
Great. Thank you for this insight.
Sure.
Yeah, Greg, I think you guys have hit an inflection point recently, just because I have some familiarity with what you've been working on, and that transition from just running out to fix something to building a relationship with your customer and having them as part of your Solar Works Club. Tell us a little bit about that transition, because I think that's super interesting and it's highly valuable to the homeowner.
Yeah, well, a large number of the folks we talk to are kind of in a stressful situation when they reach us, because they've had a hard time finding anybody to do anything on their system. And they've usually found out, like I said, quite often that their installer is not available or not in business. So there's already a level of frustration there. And so our biggest, as I mentioned, what we do in addition to making sure that we take care of their immediate problem is to give them a resource that they know they can rely on moving forward. And it's, like you said, critically needed in the industry right now. And so that's the way we think about it, not just an immediate, transactional solve that issue, but make sure we establish a relationship with them, because down the road they're going to need not only servicing, but more and more we're seeing folks that need EV chargers and energy storage, smart home. All of those things are going to be the things that come up, questions they have, and if they have a reliable partner it's going to be easier for them to make a decision moving forward on those as well.
Great. Well, thank you both for this information, and Greg will do more of these as you continue your journey. Thanks.
Look forward to it. Thanks, Karen.